Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Your life comes down to choices. Your life comes down to choices. And I've talked about this several times, and this is one of those subjects I'll talk about pretty much forever. In my book, my work of fiction called Starting from Zero, there's, like a lot of novels, there are several books within, and one major section is called The Choice. The major character was forced to make a choice. I'm going to tell you how powerful that is. A single choice can create a whole world for you. Now, I'll use myself as an example, and this isn't to brag, but just to say, look, I've walked that path. I know I've seen it happen. The reason that you're listening to this podcast is because of a choice I made years ago. For a long time on my website, I wrote a Sunday blog. For a long time, I wrote a blog. I mean, it was a long blog. A friend of mine said, man, yeah, your long essay. And I remember it takes a lot of time to write. It takes a lot of time to write something. Any writer will tell you that. I remember one time, as much as I love writing, I was just like, man, I don't feel like doing another one. You know? Still had something to say, and then something said, man, do a video. Do a video instead. And the way my website was set up, I could put links from YouTube. So I did a YouTube video. Now, I wasn't thinking about like any YouTube subs or anything like that. I barely paid attention to YouTube, to be honest, other than needed it for my own site. So I did that, but then I noticed, I did a video, then I did another video. I noticed, wait a minute, people were responding. People were like liking it. People were following me. And the rest, as they say, is history. All on one choice. And it's brought me so many things. Just one single choice. It was like, hey, instead of writing, why not talk about it? And look where I am now. But that's how it is. See, a choice is a seed. A choice is a seed. So many things can come from it. But then a choice can also lead you down a bad path. But here's the funny thing. And I'm going to say it's a funny thing. Yes, a choice can lead you down a bad path, but any single choice can take you off that path. Everything we do. Do we go to work? Do we go to work the straight way, or do we take the scenic route? Do we wear a certain color clothes one day? A certain outfit, or something different? Now somebody say, oh, Rom, wearing clothes? No. What if you wear a certain outfit and it's not a sensual outfit or anything, but more business-like? Like say you work on some job or something and everybody can dress casual, which is a lot of jobs. What if one time on the job, especially for men, you decide, hey, I'm going to throw on a necktie. All of a sudden, it's like, boom. People taking you differently. Like, well, when I worked on this one retail job, there was a young man, and, we could dress casual and everything. And this one young man, he would come in, but he always wore a necktie. All of a sudden, he got offered, like, higher positions and everything. I was like, all on a choice. Now, he didn't dress that way at first, but he changed up something. A simple choice just to wear a different kind of clothes can make a big difference. Shoot, speaking of wearing stuff, say you on a relationship thing, you go on a date, male or female. If you're a man, you put on some nice cologne for the day. As a woman, you put on some nice perfume. Now, it could be a simple choice. Somebody say it's simple, but what if you meet that person and, that's the person you really click with? And in a big part, they liked how you smelled. How much you think about that? That's how deep it is. So here's the thing. Knowing how powerful a choice is, people have to be very careful of the choices. Now, when it's something simple like what you wearing or something, you don't have to be that deep with it unless you're doing something for business. But it still could make a difference. I would always say if something like that, just make sure you stay clean. But you never know. It's like taking a different route to work. You never know. You might be looking for a place to stay and see a place. You might be looking for a job, see something. There's so many things you could see. You might see that like grocery store or a little small store that actually sells some things you need, or, bookstore. It could be anything. You could take a different route to work and just get a different perspective on life that's helping you with some things. I I remember there was one time I was introduced to a whole lot of knowledge one time, just making a simple choice of going out with someone. Now it was in D.C. and they wanted to hear go-go music and everything. People in D.C. know what I'm talking about. I'll never forget. I turned on the station to play it, but then there was a scholar on there, and he was kind of more one of those like underground type of scholars. But there was so much knowledge he dropped. It gave me a different perspective on a lot of things. And it really helped me out, like understanding many things that happen in the world. Just making a simple choice just to turn a radio station. And you could say the choice before that was deciding to go out with this particular young lady. That's how deep it is. Everything you do. You know, you could compliment somebody one day and have a friend for life. Or you could run into a lot of trouble just because you chose not to open your mouth. That's how deep it is. Everything. Your life comes down to choices. And I would say this. One of the main things, when it's a major choice, take care with it. Like some of the smaller stuff, we can't, you might take a different route to work because there was an accident or something. I mean, you can't help that. And you can't think about, just going through life, you can't think about every single thing. You get caught up. And I've actually seen some people try that. You get caught up. But when it's something major, you got to think about it. Think about if you need to move from wherever you're living. You need to think about where you're going to live next. If you're going to get into a job, you're looking for a job and you got a couple of choices, you need to really think hard. You need to think about hard who you really spend, like who you might choose to mate with, like get into a major relationship. You need to think about it. Everything major because it can really affect you. Like, if you miss out on some smaller choices, it's like I said, a choice will correct itself. But I'm going to tell you what, making the wrong choice in major life events can have repercussions for a very long time. And you need to really think about it. Sometimes you might need to ask some questions. You might need to take counsel, Depending on what your spiritual path is, you might need to pray or do a ritual, whatever it is. But you really got to understand everything is a choice, Even how you behave, ultimately, that's a choice. People be trying to say, well, I can't help it. Yes, you can. You choosing to take a certain course of action. You're not forced to behave no way. No, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens to you. It could be hideous, and you still have a choice on how you want to respond to it. So understand that. Understand the power of choice. Understand that your life comes down to choices, all right? So that's all I have for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.